Hi, I'm Dan Smigrod, founder of the Matterport User Group Forum, and we're talking today with Gerald Blondy, founder and CEO of Bushman. We're going to talk a little bit about his tripods that he has showing off here at IVRPA in Quebec City. So, Gerald, from a perspective of a Matterport photographer, can you speak a little bit about your two tripod solutions?
Yes. So the two tripods, one of them is in aluminum, one of them is in carbon fiber.
Okay, so this is aluminum, this is carbon.
Aluminum
Yeah.
is named Eben, and the carbon fiber one is Amarula.
So let's talk first, even before you go on to the specs, the difference between why someone would want aluminum or why someone would want carbon fiber.
Sure. Well, obviously the carbon fiber is lighter versus the aluminum would tend to be heavier. Then there's a question of design. A lot of photographers like the design and the aspect of the carbon fiber.
So would the aluminum be a better choice for a Matterport photographer in terms of the weight of the camera, or the weight of the Matterport camera? I believe about 6 or 10 pounds. It won't
It
matter.
would not
Doesn't
make much
matter.
difference because they both can take 12 kilos, which is 24 pounds.
24 pounds. So,
So
we're,
it
we're,
wouldn't-
we're good on weight.
Yes, on either tripods, will be super fine.
Okay, and then in terms of adjustments of these tripods,
So these tripods all come with 4 sections and with 2 center sections for the center part.
yeah.
2 sections. So for a Matterport, I believe the importance is having the same openings and same closings.
Yes.
So I suppose a user would open it, most likely open it fully.
How'd you do that so fast? That's awesome.
It fits in one hand.
Fits in one hand. Yeah.
Turn it, quarter turn,
Yeah.
close it.
And let's say I'm traveling. What is the smallest size to be able to maybe put that in a suitcase?
I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
So very small, very light. Will fit easily in a bag. On a carry-on.
So this is pretty crazy because if you're traveling from site to site, maybe you're putting some things in your luggage, or if you're traveling, that's a small footprint to be able to travel with that. Yeah, so very small. Talk about in terms of the clicking of how to set it this way, this way, this way. What are my
So
options?
there's 3 possibilities.
3 possibilities.
One would be very close to the ground.
Yeah.
So there's a small clipping solution.
Yes.
Pull down, adjust it, lift it. 3 positions. 1, 2, and the 3rd. So you have 3 different angles depending on your need and depending on the ground.
So let's figure, is that in terms of stability? If you could extend those legs again for me.
Quarter turn,
Yeah.
couple seconds, you set up.
Boom, boom, boom. So fast, portable. Okay, and then what setting are we here? Is this the medium clipped out setting?
This is the closest one.
This is the closest.
Yes.
Okay, and so is it fully extended with all 4 legs? Now it's extended.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Fully extended, then go down.
The camera, and we may even actually put a special head for leveling even before the camera in order to not have to constantly adjust the legs, to be able to do the leveling of the tripod and camera from here. Now, how about in terms of different kinds of surfaces? So what is on the bottom of the tripod?
We have 2 options. The tripods come by default with the rubber feet plugged on them, screwed on them, 3/8. And with the tripod comes little spikes, so if you're outside on ice or you need the spikes, you can just simply screw them in and change them.
So you have an option if you're inside, you're on a tile, you don't want it to slip, you have the benefit of the rubber tile, and then maybe even if you're in a carpet where you might not want it to be slipping, you might still put the points coming out in carpet.
I've used it personally on ice.
Oh,
On
nice.
ice, it was
Okay.
very convenient.
So let me give you this one that's sliding underneath me here. If I can get that to you for a second.
Sure.
And then I think one of the things that Gerald and I were talking about is, sometimes we shoot at doorknob height, and sometimes we shoot maybe a little bit above table height, and even 60 inches, maybe eye height for virtual reality, and maybe even for 3D, we're shooting at a different level. And so I think one of the challenges that I've found with many of the tripods that we looked at is some of us are actually using maybe, and actually you would recommend here, if I'm going to shorten that, where are you going to shorten that from?
I would shorten always the smaller section to
So-
gain in stability.
Gain
If
in-
this one is going to be more flexible, it will be the smaller one.
Close
So I
it-
would always close the smaller one.
Yes.
And keep the
Okay,
bigger one open.
so very important thought here is if you're adjusting for different heights and you only need a partial height, is begin with the lower portion of the tripod for stability. But one of the things I think would be helpful for Matterport photographers, because we do use the tripod at various heights, is it possible to do markings on here? Is this something that you're anticipating offering?
We could do this, do some lasering marks on the aluminum version.
On the aluminum version, yes.
This will be just much simpler to be able to put the marks
Yes.
for the users, or on the center columns. So you would always open the bottom part,
Yes.
always the same,
Yes.
and then have different marks on the center column.
So for our community, 1,500 Matterport photographers, 62 countries, I think this actually would be some kind of extra benefit for us, where we do tend to use the height, camera height at a different level, not always fully extended. So is that something that you anticipate releasing soon? Is a commercial?
This could be very easy to set up, yes, and have them for the users, depending on the heights that you usually use.
Depending on
so
height.
we can talk about it and decide on this.
So we'll talk
If we
more
get
with
some feedback.
Yeah, we'll talk more with Gerald. In fact, we'll ask in the forum if you can post some comments about how do you feel about having laser etched in the aluminum version of the tripod in order to make it easier to have some options in terms of heights. So Gerald, is there anything else you want to tell us about your product?
Yes, you can change the top section to 3/8 to 1/4 inch. To increase stability, you have the little hook available at all times.
So you could put a sandbag on there to hold it down. You're outside in the wind a little bit, or you want to just put some weight on the tripod to keep it extra sturdy as an option. Yes.
All the parts are replaceable. And that's it, 2 years warranty.
2 years warranty. What you offer many different tripods. What brand is this one called?
No.
What Bushman?
This is the Eben one, the aluminum version.
The
Eben.
yes.
Eben. And this is the Amarula version. We only have 2 tripods.
Two tripods.
2 tripods.
Okay.
Exactly.
So we thank Gerald for participating with us. I'm Dan Smigrod, Matterport User Group Forum, reporting from IVRPA in Quebec City.